But yeah, also handling tech, as you would. But yeah, we've got Kirby Star Allies by brassbeat coming right up. I'm really looking forward to that one as well. And just look at the stacked skulls. Smushy Come Home, Super QV64, Muppets Race Mania. I'm really looking forward to that one. And yes, after that, about 2 hours 40 minutes, we will be interviewing Michael Robach from QMUNITY. So if you have any questions, you should definitely join the Discord server and, you know, ping me or just post them in the general channel. If you have any questions for the charity, because you got about 2 hours to think about what we might want to ask Michael Robach. We got a couple of topics, but we might be able to sneak in a question or two from the community. And I really just want to say this. We have a couple of people that we like to support in Speedruns, a couple of sponsors that we just, you know, we support them, they support us a little bit. So a little topical sponsored message. The Speedrunning EP is a brand new album from the combined efforts of DJ Fatso, Count Gooby, and Kenner CDK. This album combines the world of speedrunning with the world of hip-hop. This album is Pay What You Want, with all post-tax profits made during this event being donated to QMUNITY. So check out the latest release from the Speedrunning Soldier at speedrunners.live/music. With that, we're gonna get the next run set up for you as soon as possible. So in the meantime, I encourage all of you to take a little break. You know, stretch out, get some water, stretch your legs, whatever. Really important that you do that. Don't just stare at the screen for 5 hours. And when we're back, we should hopefully be ready for Kirby Star Allies. So get you in a couple minutes. Alright everyone, hope you all got yourself some water, stretch your legs, everything. We are almost ready here for Kirby Star Allies by brassbeat. Before we get started with that run, I do want to remind you all, of course we are raising money for QMUNITY, and if you want to support an awesome organization like that that helps, you know, queer, trans, and two-spirit lives in the British Columbia area, then you can go to our Tiltify campaign at speedromizer.live/donate. Also find the donate link below the stream and also in chat by typing !donate. And all of your donations get sent directly to community or charity. We don't see a single cent of it, all goes directly to them through PayPal. So when you're donating, also, don't forget to put your money towards our active challenges and polls. And by the way, on Tiltify, you can support both a challenge and a poll at the same time. So you can get double your money's worth, which is more like triple your money's worth when you consider that we're raising money in Canadian dollars, because US dollars to Canadian conversion, that actually favors US dollars. So you get, you know, if you donate $7 in USD, that's more like 10 Canadian bucks. So hey, you can make your money count like 2 times, 3 times worth when you consider that you can donate to like a poll and a challenge at the same time. So donate! I want to see that number reach triple digits soon. Alright everyone, we are ready here for Kirby Star Allies by brassbeat. So brassbeat, show us what you've learned in the last 3 months. Let's go.
So yeah, hello everyone. I'm brassbeat, and I am gonna be speedrunning Kirby Star Allies. It's the first time since I'm normally not really much of a platformer speedrunner. This has been quite an interesting experience for me to get back into it, but I've been really enjoying it, and hopefully you're gonna see a pretty good run. So with that, I will just get started now. I will click new game, then click my character. We are gonna be playing as the 3 Mage-Sisters, which are by far have the fastest movement options available, so that's pretty interesting. And yeah, time's gonna start when I click the start button here, so I'll give a quick countdown.
Ready?
3, 2, 1, and go.
Good luck.
So yeah, this game mode, the guest star, is something that the modern Kirby games have done for quite a while. Now, since I know it existed in like Superstar Ultra, but oh, that's not good. Hang on. Better, yeah. So yeah, it's sort of an alternate game mode where you sort of bum rush through the game with a character that is not Kirby, and because Kirby Star Allies are sort of is a bit of it's a bit sort of a medley game, taking many aspects from like all the previous Kirby games. We get instead the choice of a lot of characters. Oh, that's not good. So as you can see, we're doing this this run with what's called the 3 Mage-Sisters. Oh, I messed up a little bit. Now I have to improvise a bit since I'm supposed to have 4 guys on my team right now, and I actually killed one of them. So maybe this guy? No. So yeah, immediately marathon luck is starting to kick in a bit. So as you can see, the basic fastest movement option that we have available here is the air dodge of Zen Parzan, who is the yellow character that you'll see me mostly play with. And this air dodge is incredibly hard to control. We just get to zip through most of the levels, even though... oh, actually, yeah, we have the guy in front that will make do for us. But we now don't really get to enjoy the movement. Instead, we get an auto-scroller section. Or at least something that's mostly an auto-scroller. I bet there's some things that you can do to save time, but then you're thinking of like fractions of a second, which I never really got down to during the short time I had to learn the run, basically. So yeah, since we're playing as the 3 Mage-Sisters, you would kinda expect to see 3 characters. We have 3 characters to play as. For most of the run, we're just where it's just basic movement. We're gonna be playing as Zen Parzan. But another thing is, Zen Parzan also has the highest possible damage output, so basically for boss fights we're also gonna see mostly her, but we will see a bit of the other characters later on in the run. So here we are at the first boss fight. You're gonna see me do 2 kinds of attacks here. There's the down stab, and there's the which I forgot the name of, and there is the lightning lemonade, which is our up B attack, basically. Lightning lemonade has the highest damage output, but the down stabs are interesting because they actually apply a sort of defense debuff on the bosses. So in a lot of cases, the way you tackle boss fights in this game is to in this run is just to start off with a few stab moves and then just spamming lemonade until your opponent dies. So there's an interesting thing about this run, which is that we have an in-game timer that we see on the top left. It has sort of one special property. One interesting property about it is that in many cases, attacks that use extra animations, the in-game timer will actually pause for that. So something that you're gonna see a lot throughout the run is the use of the sister circle. I'm gonna start with one right here. Oh, I missed the input, so I got body slammed by DVD. No biggie though. So for this entire animation, it counts for 0 in-game time. Wait. Of course, such a big screen right move has a sort of long cooldown attached to it, so we're gonna sort of rely on our usual attack patterns for most of the run. So yeah, that was the first stage actually. Got a pretty alright time out of it, I think. I haven't learned from like the top of my heart how what sort of good target times are. For marathon, I guess this is alright.
Hey, I mean, this is literally your first marathon appearance, so...
So yeah, you have sort of a big movement section at the start of the run. Actually, no, wait, this coming up is this run's only instance of what's usually called an ally room. Base game has a lot more of those, but thankfully for us, in this game we only have to deal with one of these, which is very nice since this is one of the major RNG parts of the run. So I'm gonna use another sister circle, which hits a button which our AI-controlled ally is supposed to hit. But for the second part of it, we are kind of dependent on what attack the AI chooses to do. We got a really bad option, which is the room attack backwards. So yeah, not too bad. You can basically lose like 10 seconds because of RNG on this section. So here, since we have invulnerability, you get a sort of free mini boss fight over here, and then we pick up some upgrades. That's something that's also like part of this game is you can collect upgrades. A lot of them are sort of really far out of the way, so we don't route them in. But in this case, we have a few good ones. The red one that I have now is the attack upgrade. That's basically what it says on the box. There's also health upgrades and speed upgrades. Speed upgrades, that sounds really good. Interestingly, I think in the next section is the one instance of a speed upgrade that we're literally gonna skip. Because it's... Oh, wait. It's the Hall of Pain. Let's go. So, yeah. A very awkward room to maneuver our way through. I actually did really great here with only two, getting only hit twice, so... Getting 2 hits is a pretty big deal since it's kind of the maximum amount of damage we can take without sort of being at risk of dying in the later parts of the level. There's a lot of I think you can take like 4 hits and still live in that section. In my PB, I did do terribly in this room, so I actually ended up taking an intentional death there. Because taking an intentional death costs a lot less time than taking an unintentional death. So yeah, here, this is kind of we just take out these mini-bosses with a scissor circle. Usually in Kirby games, usually when you play as Kirby, you can like inhale the corpses of mini-bosses to if you want to switch abilities. In this case, what we do is we oh, actually, I need to focus up a little bit because this room's kind of annoying. I guess it's a good time to switch topic. So this is sort of we get to fight a whole bunch of dudes here, and as you can see, we actually play a different character here. This plays Francesca. The charge attack, it's just absolutely stupidly powerful at leading up little guys. In parts, it's just a very nice and spammable attack, but another part that really favors Francesca is essentially her type. This game sort of introduces, sort of has physical typings, sort of has different abilities have sort of different typings, and in the case of Guest Star, it's going to be different characters having their own typings. I am not getting around to explaining a lot of things because now we are already at the boss fight, and there's a really hard early cycle there. There's an interesting quick kill that I want to go for here. So we get a bit of bad luck in the first phase because Meta Knight stayed grounded for quite a while. No, that's not right. I completely messed up. So what I'll have to do is just wait for this phase and then do a scissor circle. So there is actually a window where you can get this scissor circle off before Meta Knight starts flying off, and that saves her quite a long animation. But overall, this level, this stage didn't go that bad. We didn't die, which is a pretty significant factor. Saves much more time than missing the quick kill loses. So yeah, the next stage is kind of weird since usually in stage 3, the boss fights of this level are the 3 Mage-Sisters. But basically, the 3 Mage-Sisters being sort of the secondary antagonists of the game, the one that sort of the ones that you sort of encounter the most during the base game. They are stupidly powerful, so compared to a lot of other characters, so they actually get different boss fights during Guest Star. Instead of playing the normal fights, we get you may have seen that all of the bosses are their parallel versions, which are just basically powered up versions of the usual boss fights. The 3 Mage-Sisters don't have a parallel version. So instead we just don't have boss fights here. Except for one, which is coming up somewhat soon. And this switch room is actually kind of interesting. You have to hit a whole bunch of buttons. But what you're gonna see me do from the next room is try this. Yeah, and that attack manages to sort of hit the buttons a bit earlier than usual. Now we get not actually a super interesting boss fight because this is Spawn Income. The Scissor Circle, the damage output on this is actually hard capped to be like a nearly a kill. But thankfully you can just pick them off with one attack. There is a faster attack you can do there, but its inputs are really annoying. You have to like press down and then up plus B. Which takes some getting used to actually get that input down without it dropping. So instead, I'll just do that. I just did a quick dash attack there. But I also wanted to use the D-pad in this room. You can use both the D-pad and the left stick for movement. Because we're using like this sort of zippy move to move around a lot, I usually want to use the left stick here, but there are cases where you can get by with using the D-pad and then just holding a direction of the D-pad is usually easier. Okay, now this room is really annoying because I absolutely love semi-solids. Okay, so that's a sort of stab attack there is a sort of a safety feature so that you don't... If I miss the semi-solid, then if I sort of mess up the movement there, then you get stuck for a while, and that would be really annoying. So yeah, back to Francesca. I was trying to explain type. Francesca's element is of course ice, and what ice actually does. What these ice attacks actually do on the plane dudes, basically, is they actually freeze. They actually freeze their corpse, which ends up sort of skipping their death animation. And normally, the game actually waits for those death animations before it considers the wave to be defeated. So in that way, you can kind of like. You can get quite a bit of time saved to add up by switching to Francesca there. On top of that, usually those combat rooms usually give us like enough time to start to sort of switch up. And here's the next train section coming up. Another boring auto-scroller, but what's different from the first train section is that we can die, because there's a lot of bits here. I have had too many runs where I've just taken a random death here. Or at least in practice I did. Not so much in like my actual submitted runs, thankfully. But I do need to actually pay a bit of attention here. and then for this last bit, we can do a jump here to make the path a bit shorter. Saving 1 second in a minute-long auto-scroller. Always worth it.
So is there a way to mess it up, or is it safe?
No, it's a pretty safe trick to go for, thankfully. If you miss it, you just sort of walk up the wall and then and then stop the train. I did not pay attention to this. So yeah, since we usually fight one of the Mage-Sisters here, this stage just kind of ends on a weird combat room. And that's stage 3, which is basically the halfway point, because stage 5 is just long, obviously. In fact, funnily enough, in the base game, both stage 4 and 5 corresponds to the last world of the base game, World 4. They had to like split it up because it is incredibly long, and I actually got it there. That's actually probably the first time that I messed up that room in once. So these next few sections are kind of janky because yeah, the movements, they're just kind of weirdly laid out, and we have to do some pretty unusual things. This mini-boss, Loxy, for some reason we have to wait until the health bar fully charges up. If you look at some other mini-boss fights where we just do a sister circle, then we don't need to wait there. But for some reason this one's different. I don't know why. So this room is really annoying. Alright, I did not get trolled by those Fento-looking guys. There's probably some Kirby people who actually know the name of those names of those enemies. I don't, so I just call them Fentos. So here's a small water section. There's a way you can damage boost here to save a bit of time here. No war. That's one way. So we so in the boss fights, you're usually before a boss fight we have to unfriend all of our allies, since for some reason having allies actually affects your damage output. If you were I believe with the maximum amount of allies, our damage output is like half of what it is before. It doesn't actually matter in this fight because, as you can see, we still hit the damage cap. So I missed like the quickest possible strategy here, but for this fight, unlike Fawn and Con, which you saw earlier, let's not skip this. It's not you don't lose that much time for missing the first attack there. So this room's really annoying near the ending. I want to avoid inputting dash attacks because they have really long end lag. And for this one, you can sort of mess around in that section and like try to collect the things you want normally. There's an all up here, and we want to go in, get in the door. Oh, but we do basically have an unused scissor circle there, so I just decided to go for that. Probably still loses a second from having to stop and charge up the attack, but that's probably faster than me actually trying to navigate through that the ending of that room. So yeah, this is another combat room. It's sort of mostly the same things we've seen before, but except for this one where we want to do plane attacks here at the start because the plane attacks sort of keep the frozen corpses in. Oh, I messed this up. This is gonna be really annoying. So in theory, this room you just get to spam. I think this attack is called Frozen Eclair or something. All of the attacks have really funny names. It almost wouldn't be Kirby without them. So yeah, after this, it's just the final boss fight, which can be awkward. It's not that hard, but if you sort of miss an early cycle, then you're really deep in the mud. So I'll just take a little bit to focus. So yeah, that looked really easy, but there is a second phase. And it turns out those lightning lemonades are not completely trivial to just spam on the guy. In this case, it actually worked really well. But there are if you don't get enough damage in quick enough, then there's a really janky attack pattern that you have to deal with. So yeah, at this point we are actually. How did I miss that? We are actually at the final stage, and there's actually some. I'm gonna tackle this stage slightly differently from top level runs in that because the final boss fight is incredibly hard. I want to pick up some extra health upgrades that you normally wouldn't. Oh, I messed up and got grabbed there. So there's the first one. In like most of the runs I did, I figured getting two of them would be enough, and thankfully there are two of them that are they're in pretty easy positions. This combat room is really interesting since oh, I missed that one. We actually get to use... we actually get to see Flame Bears for a few rooms because her attacks just happen to be really nicely spaced out for us. And after this, just quick Sister Circle. The one on the right is actually a parallel version of Bunkers, which has a bit more health hit points. I think it's possible. But yeah, this next section is going to be quite interesting since we want to actually keep these two bunkers alive for most of the stage 5. We do need a 4th friend, so I'm gonna do this and then some more some classic Francesca meal. So fun fact, in my PP, you're gonna see that speed upgrade. I actually just completely forgot to pick it up for some reason. Which is really funny. I think if you overlay... Oh, that's not right. So yeah, that little bit is really annoying because since there's not many attacks that can actually like break those 2 star blocks there. I have to do a slide kick there, which for normal Kirby runners is not that unusual in a lot of because there's a lot of cases in Kirby games where the slide kick is actually your fastest movement option. But of course I don't run out of Kirby games, so I always forget that for a slide kick you have to press A for some reason instead of B. Okay, I died there, but it's not... That's thankfully not super lossy. This is another one of those auto-scroller sections where if you don't pay attention you just die. So at the end of this room is actually the second health upgrade that I'm gonna get. Normally it just ends there, and there's actually a little trick that I can do, which is because I jumped there at the end, I actually have one of my guys bounce right into the health upgrades, which cancels a certain animation. Pretty neat, and something you actually wouldn't see in top level runs because they don't need extra health upgrades. I forgot to do it. So there's a mechanic which you haven't seen until in this run so far because we rarely actually used. Wait, I accidentally unfriended one of the bunkers. That's not what's supposed to happen. And now if I do this... Oh, you completely didn't stop. Okay. But basically, you can like combine certain elemental powers with other abilities or character sets. And in this case, what I did is I gave Bonkers ice typing, which is gonna help for some rooms going here. And actually, I don't have a lot of health, even though Actually, I'm not gonna go for this. There is an early cycle you can go for here, but it's really tight and it's really easy to take extra damage here. this on-shot hammer over here is the single heal that we get in this segment before the boss fight. And I picked up some health upgrades because I want to have more health for the boss fight. So obviously it's gonna... I really don't want to take damage in this section. For some reason, I always forget that this room exists. It's incredibly annoying and really easy to just get hit by a random dude jumping around. But the real pain is starting here. This is what in my notes is called Death Alley.
That sounds obvious.
Yeah, you may have seen the bunkers actually died instantly. I think in my PB I had 2 bunkers still, and they also both died instantly on that specific block. But yeah, if you get squished in this game, you die instantly. So really annoying. And in this room, having the ice bunkers would have been really good. Doesn't cost a lot of time, but because those water guys are also weak to electric. Also, you can very easily get squished there if you just rush right in the door. Okay, now this is really annoying because I have a really hard cycle to hit. I kind of missed it because it wasn't lined up correctly. You can actually take those dudes, those little waste hubs, with 1 lightning lemonade, but you need to actually be lined up really well for that to work. What's happening? Alright, I will take that guy getting squished. Alright, so overall this section went quite well. Oh, I almost still got squished right there right at the end. And that means we're at the final boss. Which is an upgraded version of what's already supposed to be the sort of surprise super boss at the very end of post-game. So yeah, this fight's really hard, and I'm probably gonna be quiet for most of it. Also, time is gonna be on the final boss on this, final hit on this guy. So yeah, you get the same attacks here every time, but especially the last one you're gonna see is really hard to avoid taking the full load of damage. Alright, thankfully I got an easy attack pattern there. That's time.
GG's.
So yeah, of course, this game goes by in-game time. So what one's really gonna be, we're gonna see soon. And that, so 25:32. That's pretty good for a marathon. As you can see, my PB is within a reasonable range of that. So I'm more than happy with this.
That's pretty close to BB, especially for, you know, this being your first marathon appearance with this game, given, you know, how the event works.
Yeah, pretty cool. And let's look at this a bit. Oh, I actually got a gold there. Nice. So yeah, that's Kirby Star Allies. Really cool one. Pretty easy to get into. And actually pretty fun movement overall. So especially this one, really good, pretty short, and yeah, I can recommend it for anyone was looking a little bit brassbeat who, you know, is interested in Kirby speedruns, and yeah. I think with that I'll call it a day. So good luck on the rest of the marathon, and yeah, goodbye.
Thank you so much for the run, brassbeat.